Hello everyone and welcome to episode number 5 of the Amber Army YouTube Football Manager 2017 experiment, Newport County Russian Takeover. So as you can see, Tony Mowbray is the manager of Newport County after Michael Flynn lost his job after an extremely poor start to the 2017-2018 season. Thankfully that's not the case in real life, but there we go. Newport County have Tony Mowbray and they have an absolute buttload of money, which for some reason Flynn was reluctant to use. Tony Mowbray, to an extent, has started using it, but only to an extent. So let's have a little look at the transfer history. We are on the 2nd of July 2018. The transfer window is open. Any Bosman ruling players would have come in on the 1st of July. So let's have a little butchers. And there you go. They brought 2 players in. But Jordan Wright from Salford. Salford have got some good players there. So I'd imagine that'll be down to him being good, and only 19 years old, but a keeper. Don't think they really need a keeper, but that's not for me to say. Jake Keane is another keeper, so I've got the feeling that Joe Day is being pushed out. Sean Rigg, Jamie Turley, Aaron Williams and Jazzy Barn and Bob have all been released. Transfer centre, are they in for anybody? No, there's no active transfers for Newport County right now. So the schedule, a couple of friendly matches, playing against Rhoda JC at home. That should bring a bit of a crowd. Them and Stoke. Away to Sutton, away to Skelmersdale. Opening up the league, the league campaign against Bristol Rovers away. So nothing like a 7-side derby away trip to start the season off with. And then Peterborough at home in the EFL Cup first round. They've got to fancy their chances somewhat in that one. So, this is the Newport County team. 4 keepers, why I don't know, but that's up to Tony Mowbray to sort out. He'll have his plans though, lots of defenders, tactics are still the same. That was who played in the very last game of the season. Roden and Lewis have since left, gone back to Swansea. And there we have it. Cool and Dolan could be a good midfield pairing. That could end up getting Newport County promoted, but they need to get not so much the wingers, but the striker, the defence. They need a little bit of extra quality throughout, or at least the right tactics. Personally, if they're going to go and get promoted this season, these aren't the tactics to use. But you never know, it might work. But we're going to have to wait and see. Let's take you guys to the end of the transfer window to see what further business Mr Mowbray does for County. And then at the same time we'll have a look at how they've started and how they got on against Peterborough in the League Cup. I'll see you guys there. Okay, so as you can see, on the 2nd of September, it's another pretty poor start by Newport. Winning only 1 in 5, 2 losses, 2 draws. The losses coming at home to Southend, and they lost that opening game against Bristol Rovers. And they actually beat Peterborough. They won 3-0 at home to Peterborough. Fair play. But then they lost 3-0 at home to Everton, but got themselves a TV game. So a little bit of money that they don't particularly really need. But the point is, it's not so much money that they need, it's players. Mr Mowbray, did he bring any more in? Yes, being the answer. Right, okay, so Joe Roden has come back again for 3rd season on loan. They got Keenan Davis on loan from Aston Villa. They've brought in Daniel James. I believe they may have had him last season, did they? No, they didn't have him. I'm thinking of somebody else. So they've actually spent £240,000 on Abdou Aziz Thiam, who's a defensive ball-winning midfielder, which, yep, that falls into the tactical ideas of Mr. Tony Mowbray, with the defensive midfield player behind a midfield 4 in front of a defensive 4. Tyler Denton is a left back that they've just bought from Leeds. So they're strengthening, but it doesn't seem to be working right now. Average ratings. So Tyler Denton's had a very good start to life here in Newport. Matthew Dolan started well. Thierry Ambrose has only made the one appearance, but made a bloody good one. Newblay is scoring and playing well, so they're playing particularly well at the moment. Amond has been transfer listed. It's a bit of a shame for him, but they're pushing forward and they only need one striker. Well, there you go. So the tactics, as you can see, yes, they're still the same. But you see, they should be doing a damn sight better. So Keenan Davis is a striker. The guy on loan from Aston Villa is a striker. So my guess is that it's going to get better. But I did say that the last time, didn't I? See, the facilities are still keeping up to date. The youth level has jumped up from a 4 to a 3. And they're still using the 9,800 capacity of Rodney Parade. So that's that for now. So in Sky Bet League 2, they're looking for a reprieve, basically. FA Cup first round. Alright, okay, so an unknown. Obviously the draw hasn't been made for the FA Cup first round just yet. Got to wait a little while, but that's the weekend that it's going to be played. Checker Trade Trophy away to Reading. I thought that the under-23 games you're supposed to play at home, but there we go. Swindon at home and Coventry away, so a very difficult Checker Trade Trophy group. But the Checker Trade Trophy run is a nice run to have, but the league has got to be the priority here. Grimsby away, Crewe at home, and Northampton away, Lincoln at home. So a group of games there that they should be able to get possibly 10 points out of. And then Bradford City away would be difficult, as well pretty much any game in League 2 these days are difficult. So I think what we're going to do is push on to see how they cope now, and see basically how they are at the end of November. So we'll see them after they played that Blackpool away game. We'll see how they fare with the Checker Trade Trophy also. Guys, I shall see you there. Alright then, so we're on the 30th of November. Newport County are in 14th place with one game in hand. Win that game in hand, they can jump up to 10th. Not quite going as you'd hope it would. So you can see the squad is there. Joe Day is the number 2 now. Jake Keane is the number 1. Tyler Denton is still having a good season so far. There we go. Tyler Denton, Mickey Dimitriou, Dolan, Ollie Clark, Aaron Cool. I mean, look at these players. I mean, this is a good team. I just think Mowbray's tactics are wrong. I think our Russians have appointed the wrong manager, personally. I mean, Mowbray's spending a bit of money, fair play to him, but no. They haven't got the right man in charge, in my opinion. So let's have a little look at the schedule and have a little look at where we left it last. We left it here. Checker Trade Trophy, lost on penalties, lost and lost. So they're out of the Checker Trade Trophy. FA Cup first round, they got through. They beat Rochdale after a replay, winning 2-1 away. So it's in them. It's in them to do well. They got Shrewsbury at home. So they could be in the third round of the Cup. Now, they managed to get an EFL Cup tie on TV against Everton. Maybe it's something that they need to raise the profile of the club, but they're losing games. They're losing too many games. They're winning the odd game here and there, but they're losing too many. And I think these tactics are pretty much to blame for the reason they're not winning more games. I think they're playing too defensively. They got players who can move the ball forward and cause problems, but the problem is they're not using them to the best of their abilities. I mean, there's one thing to have a central defensive midfielder, but why not have these two wingers as inside forwards, play with a little bit more attacking sort of, because they're too far back. They're well too far back with just the one striker left up there on his own, completely on his lonesome. Keenan Davis, he scored 6 goals so far in 18 appearances, 1 coming off the bench. No, I just don't think he's getting the service he needs. I don't think these are living up to what they are. I mean, You look, I mean, he's playing Ollie Clark, who is a defensive midfielder, in a support midfielder's role. He's playing Labardi, who is another sort of defensive, sort of orthodox box-to-box midfielder, in the attacking midfielder's role. And then they're playing 8 and 8 wingers as, sort of right and left midfielders. So 8 and 8 wingers should be up there pushing forward, getting around the full-backs and getting the ball into the box. But, like I say, we're not the manager this time. As tempted as I am to take over this and actually do it as a full-on series, we want to see how it unfolds. We don't want to be in control of it. We want to see how it unfolds by itself. That's where the excitement is, because when you've got no control over it, you have absolutely no idea how it's going to go. I mean, I just noticed something. He's playing Mark O'Brien, who's a centre-back at right-back. As you've got Ben Tozer, but say he's not really got much cover for himself at right back. He's played Joe Rodon, who plays at right back, in centre back instead of Mark O'Brien. I mean, team selections, I'm not feeling the team selections at all. And look, they got a cluster of home games coming up. They get some wins on those home games, and you never know. They could end up pushing up the table a little bit more, because you look at them at home. Well, they're losing games at home as well, but it's mainly the away games they're losing. A lot of the losses have got a big A next to them. So a cluster of home games and see where they are then. But at the moment, Mr. Mowbray is failing our Russian owners, Vasily and Mikhail, being failed by Mr. Mowbray, as they were failed by Mr. Flynn. I think if they end up, well, as I said, they haven't got grounds to sack Tony Mowbray at the moment, but if it comes to that, they have to get the next appointment right if they want to get out of this league. They got the money, they just haven't got the man, in my opinion. But, say, in the next episode, this season will be concluded. So, keep in touch with it, guys, and we'll see how we get on. Anyway, that's the end of this episode. Thank you very much for watching. It's an absolute pleasure to do these gaming series for you, and I hope that you keep in touch with them and hope that you enjoy them most of all. Anyway, thank you very much again, and until the next time, cheerio for now.